Dion was injured in a traffic accident 17 years ago. He had just graduated high school and had a promising hockey career ahead of him. It all ended when he went out drinking with some friends. He received a serious brain injury and is now confined to a wheelchair.
What do kids think? We went drinking after school. That was the problem, drinking.
2 weeks after his grad, he got into a car accident. But that morning before I left, I told him, I says, son, please come home. Listen, don't go out now. It was on a Friday. He says, don't go out with anybody, just come home. But he didn't come home after school.
I was in grade 12 and went drinking after school. Met by 8 o'clock that night with a covert.
Dion was full of energy. He was a very athletic, young little individual, you know, and like I say, since he was the baby brother, he got all the attention. I'm the oldest of our family. Dion is the baby boy. He's the second youngest. He's my baby. You may as well say, you know, because I've always tried to be a role model for Dion.
The day of his accident, I was in Prince Albert. Then I got a phone call at the bingo hall telling me that Dion was in a serious car accident. So I left the bingo hall and went to Saskatoon right away because they told me they rushed him to Royal University Hospital.
When I walked in there, what I thought in my heart was happening was happening. Dion was on a table, unconscious and shaking, you know, uncontrollably. He was in a shake. So
he fell out of the truck, 50 feet from the truck, and he banged his head. Severe, head blow.
Once my father came, they were transferring Dion over to a Royal University Hospital in Saskatoon because he was in serious condition. They didn't know the extent of his injuries at that point in time. They just knew that there was a head injury, and he needed to be transferred to the Royal University Hospital.
And the doctors come and see me, that come and talk to me that they couldn't do anything more for Dion, that they'd have to disconnect the machine. That his lungs were just bad. There was fluid in there, had pneumonia again. I says, no, I says, you know, you're not going to disconnect the machine. Just go on what you're doing and look after my son. Give him the treatment that he should get.
Dion was in a coma for 18 months. His mother never gave up hope, and one day he finally came to.
And one day I went there, and I walked in there. I went by myself, go and see my son. I thought he seen me. He looked towards the door of the hospital. Then as I went by, he followed me. I got close to his bed. He looked at me. He reached out and said, Mom, like, you know, but I couldn't hear him talk because he couldn't talk because he had a trach. Yeah. And then I says, excuse me, I told Dion, I'll have to go and blow my nose first. I said, you know, I went in a hallway and I went and cried.
I asked really how to do everything again. Eat and feed myself, because I was right-handed before, but now I'm left-handed. I can write my right hand now, just my left hand.
He didn't have no coordination, and I couldn't think of how I was going to help him. So the only thing I thought of was to get some macaroni, you know, from small, medium, and large, to help him with his coordination, to pick them up and, you know, just to put them.
Today, Dion has made a miraculous recovery for someone who suffered such a major injury. Now he takes his message to young people in the hope that they will not make the mistake he did.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, teachers and students. Today we're here to share something. Dion and I had put something together after his accident. Life isn't easy to live with a brain injury, but I thought we'd make something, write a story, and try and save a lot of children. With this, I think Dion will tell you his story. Thank you very much.
My name is Dion FSIN, and I am from the Muscat Lake Cree Nation. I'm talking to you today because I don't want you to end up in a position like me. I am a perfect example of what can happen to you if you drink and drive. I am going to share with you my story before the accident, after the accident, and how things are for me now. Before my accident, I was a good athlete. I played a lot of sports: baseball, football, badminton, and hockey. I loved to play hockey, and I was good at it. I played left wing, and defense. I played in Marsden, Sherbrooke, and Notre Dame. When I was with Sherbrooke, we won the provincial and league championships. I was scouted. I went to Prince Albert Raiders camp 2 weeks after my accident. While I was in the hospital, a letter came for me, invited me to the Session Blades camp in July 1991. I didn't make that camp, nor will I make any camp now. After my accident, Sherbrooke retired my jersey. I had pictures of me playing the sport I loved. On Friday, May 31st, 1991, I made a mistake. I was 18 years old. I planned to have a good time. The night, some of my friends and I went drinking after school. By 8 o'clock p.m., we hit a covert. I was thrown 50 feet from the truck. I must have landed on my head because doctors told my mom that I had a brain injury. I was in a coma for 18 months. I didn't know anything. My mom told me that doctors were going to disconnect the life support or respiratory machine twice because my lungs collapsed. But my mom and family wouldn't allow that. I can only imagine what my family went through. The doctors didn't think I was gonna live. My mom did though. She wouldn't let me go. My mom stayed with me the whole time. She was afraid to leave. thinking that if she did, I might die while she was away. It is my hope that my words today will prevent you from having to experience what I have experienced. I hope that you do not end up in the same situation I found myself in today. Thank you for your attention and for listening to my story.
You know, I wouldn't want any other parents to go through what I went through, because it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. But I would never give up on Dion. You know, I keep pushing him to do things. Yeah.
When I look at Dion today, he is my miracle. That's the reason why, myself personally, at that time I decided to quit drinking, quit drugging. I needed to be a role model for, number one, my family, my younger siblings, and just to be there for them and lead them by example.
It's been hard, but I've been trying to pass the message on not to drink and drive. It could be very dangerous. Look at me, I'm a good example of what can happen to you if you drink and drive.